Hello and welcome. I'm Neha Khanna and you're watching America 360. Let's get you all the big stories grabbing headlines in the US tonight. Is Donald Trump invoking the Insurrection Act to crack down on anti-ICE protesters? After the federal judge blocked the Trump administration's order to send National Guards to Portland, many believe that the president might invoke the law which would allow him to dispatch active duty military in states that are unable to put down an insurrection or are defying federal law. Trump had earlier called the protesters demonstrating against immigration crackdowns paid insurrectionists, vowing to straighten them out.
Invoke the Insurrection Act, sir.
What?
The Insurrection Act, under what conditions or terms would you invoke?
Well, I'd do it if it was necessary. So far, it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that. I mean, I want to make sure that people aren't killed. We have to make sure that our cities are safe. And it's turning out, and we started with D.C., it's been so successful. Think of it. People wouldn't go to restaurants. The restaurants were closing. We were losing a lot of restaurants, as you all know. And now restaurants are opening and they're thriving.
U.S. President Donald Trump has dropped a bombshell amid ongoing anti-ICE protests, saying that he is willing to enact the Insurrection Act if necessary. Trump made the remark after a federal judge temporarily blocked his decision to send National Guards to Portland in Oregon, where the anti-ICE protests have escalated.
Look at what's happened with Portland over the years. It's a burning hellhole. And then you have a judge that lost her way, that tries to pretend that like there's no problem. Actually, she's not even saying that. There's a huge problem in Portland. I'll tell you what the problem is: crime. Okay, crime. There's a huge problem in Chicago. It's called crime. And we want to put out the crime, and they want to inflame the crime.
But what is the Insurrection Act? Why is Trump mulling to impose it to crack down on protesters? The Insurrection Act allows the president to dispatch active duty military in states that are unable to put down an insurrection or are defying federal law. President can activate troops without a governor's approval, as long as if specific conditions are met, such as if violence is interfering with execution of laws. Law requires the president to first order insurgents to disperse. If stability is not restored, the troops can be sent in. The Trump administration has dubbed the cities as war-ravaged and lawless amid its crackdown on illegal immigration. Officials in Illinois and Oregon argued that military intervention isn't needed and that federal involvement is inflaming the situation.
You guys are framing this like the president wants to take over the American cities with the military. The president wants to help these local leaders who have been completely ineffective in securing their own cities. And we have already seen there's a positive formula for that. Look at Washington, D.C. The murder rate has declined significantly. Our streets are safer. People who live here feel safer. All of you in this room, I know you do, you just won't admit it. And it's a proven system that works, and the president wants to make America's cities safe again. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Illinois followed California and Oregon in suing the Trump administration against decision to send National Guards to quell the protesters in Chicago. Illinois leaders went to court in a bid to stop Trump from sending National Guards to Chicago, escalating tensions between Democrat-run states and the Republican administration.
Earlier today, the state of Illinois filed a lawsuit challenging Donald Trump's unlawful and unwarranted plans to deploy armed military troops to Chicago. There is no invasion here. There is no insurrection here. And local and state law enforcement are on the job and managing what they need to. Without my permission and against my vigorous objections, the president has federalized 300 Illinois National Guard military troops and hundreds of National Guard members from Texas, and he has ordered them to activate for duty in Illinois. I have called upon Governor Abbott to immediately withdraw his support for this decision and refuse to allow Texas National Guard members to be used in this way. Let me be clear. Donald Trump is using our service members as political props and as pawns in his illegal effort to militarize our nation's cities.
Donald Trump has dubbed Portland and Chicago as rife with crime and unrest. Since the start of his second term, he has sent or talked about sending troops to 10 cities, including Baltimore, Maryland, Memphis, Tennessee, the District of Columbia, New Orleans, and Oakland, San Francisco, and Los Angeles, AP reported. On Saturday, about 400 protesters had marched to a Portland ICE detention facility. Federal agents allegedly used chemical crowd control munitions, including tear gas canisters and less lethal guns that sprayed pepper balls, the Oregonian reported. The Trump administration hit back by attempting to send in National Guard troops from California and Texas.
The Chicago police chief has defended the federal authorities' crackdown on immigration protesters, claiming they used chemical agents. The police superintendent, Larry Snelling, has said it's difficult to toe the line between state and local laws that bar the police from assisting in federal immigration enforcement and their responsibility to protect the public.
At 12:28 p.m., federal agents called for CPD to assist due to a large crowd gathering at 39th and Kedzie. At 1:09 p.m., additional CPD units are en route to 39th and Kedzie. At 1:15 at 39th and Kedzie, where CPD is on scene, a group of protesters began moving barricades and federal agents deployed tear gas. The federal agents had deployed chemical agents. They deployed chemical agents while our officers were there. Those who will tell you that our officers weren't there, say that to the 27 officers who were affected by the chemical agents that was deployed by federal agents. When a crime is being committed, CPD is going to show up. And it doesn't matter if there are ICE agents there, we have a duty to investigate and protect our city. Now, there are a lot of talking heads out there. There are a lot of politics being used here. And people are using this for their political talking points. Well, my officers are not political pawns. My leadership team, not political pawns. Their lives are too important to play politics with these men and women who face danger every single day.
Is Donald Trump mulling pardoning Jeffrey Epstein's aide, Ghislaine Maxwell? The president has left the door open to a pardon for Maxwell, who was convicted of helping the late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse teenage girls. The development comes on a day the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear Maxwell's bid to overturn her conviction. When asked whether he would set Maxwell free through a pardon, Trump said he would speak to the Department of Justice.
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
You know, I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I would have to take a look. Did they reject that?
She wanted to appeal her conviction.
And what happened?
They said that they were not going to hear her appeal.
I see. Well, I'll take a look at it. I will speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So, but I'll speak. I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be a candidate for clemency, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it. I'd have to ask DOJ. I didn't know they rejected it. I didn't know she was even asking for it, frankly.
Donald Trump has rejected reports of him pulling up Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over the Gaza ceasefire deal. According to news reports, Trump and Netanyahu had a tense phone call. During the conversation, Trump told Netanyahu that he was effing negative. When asked, Trump said Netanyahu is positive about the deal.
call with Prime Minister Netanyahu where you told him to stop being so negative and to take the win when it came to Hamas's response to that. Is that true? And
no, it's not true. He's been very positive. He's been very positive on the deal. Everybody is. I think every nation is. We have just about every nation working on this deal and trying to get it done. Something that you could say 3,000 years if you look at it in certain ways, or you could say centuries, but this is a deal that incredibly everyone just came together. They all came together. No, Israel's been great. They've all been good, Caitlin.
And in the negotiations, do you have any red lines in terms of Hamas disarming and whatnot? Are there
no,
any
I have
places
red
you're
lines.
going to
If certain things aren't met, we're not going to do it. But I think we're doing very well, and I think Hamas has been agreeing to things that are very important. We have a fantastic group working on it. Steve Witkoff has been amazing. Jared, I have Jared. I took Jared out because Jared's a very, you don't find anybody more capable, and we have the A+ team working on it. I think we've made tremendous progress. And yeah, the people of Israel want it to happen, but the people related to hostages, I mean, you see in Israel tens of thousands of people. They really want the hostages back, and they really want things to end. And I think Hamas now has been, all I can say is they've been fine. They've been fine. I hope it's going to continue that way. I think it will. I really think we're going to have a deal. We have a really good chance of making a deal, and it'll be a lasting deal. We want to have peace. This is beyond Gaza. Gaza is a big deal, but this is really peace in the Middle East. And the amazing thing is we have every Arab country, every Muslim country, we have every country surrounding. They all want. I spoke with President Erdogan of Turkey. He's fantastic. He's been pushing very hard. He's a very powerful guy, and he's been pushing very, very hard to get this deal done. And Hamas has a lot of respect for him. They have a lot of respect for Qatar. They have a lot of respect for UAE and Saudi Arabia. We have everybody is on our side to get this deal done. There's never been anything like it. Nobody's ever seen it. There's always been like 80% of them don't want something done. I think virtually we even had a signal, a very strong signal, as you know, from Iran. They'd like to see this done.
Donald Trump has slammed climate activist Greta Thunberg, who has been raising her voice against what she calls a live-streamed genocide in Gaza. Greta was among the activists released from the Gaza-bound aid flotilla. When asked about the Swedish activist, Trump called her a troublemaker with an anger management problem.
Well, she's just a troublemaker, you know. I mean, she's no longer into the environment, now she's into this. She's a troublemaker. She has an anger management problem. I think she should see a doctor. She needs anger. If you ever watch her, she's a young person. She's so angry. She's so crazy. Now you can have her. You can have. She's just a troublemaker.
Let me be very clear. There is a genocide going on in front of our very eyes. A live-streamed genocide on all of our phones. No one has the privilege to say we are not aware of what is happening. No one in the future will be able to say we did not know. They once again violated international law by preventing humanitarian aid from getting into Gaza while people are being starved.
A new memoir by former NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg claims that Donald Trump nearly pulled the US out of NATO during a tense 2018 summit in Brussels. Trump reportedly threatened to exit the alliance over unequal defense spending, declaring, "You need NATO, we don't." Stoltenberg says a US withdrawal would have left NATO dead. That's all the time we have on this edition of America 360. If you have been, thanks for watching. Do join us again at the same time tomorrow.